Nay, time when lands were divided and destinies determined, one tribe rose with both warriors and women of faith, the tribe of Manasseh, the firstborn of Joseph. Their story was carved not only in soil, but in courage. This was the allotment for the tribe of Manasseh, as Joseph's firstborn. The firstborn of Manasseh was Machir, the ancestor of the Gileadites. Because the men of Machir were great soldiers, they had already received the lands of Gilead and Bashan. So, the rest of the land was for the remaining people of Manasseh, divided among their clans: Abiezer, Helek Azriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida. These were the other male descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, according to their clans. But a unique situation arose. A man named Zelophehad, who was a descendant of Hepher, had no sons. He only had daughters, and their names were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. In a culture where land inheritance was passed down through male heirs, their future seemed uncertain. But these women were not ordinary. They were women of faith and incredible courage. They went directly to Eleazar the priest, to Joshua son of Nun, and to all the leaders of Israel. Standing before the most powerful men in the nation, they made their case. They said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our relatives." They weren't just making an emotional appeal. They were referencing the law of God himself, a promise made to them in the past. They believed in God's justice and fairness. Joshua, recognizing the command of the Lord, listened. And so, according to the Lord's command, he gave them an inheritance right alongside their male relatives, the brothers of their father. This was a groundbreaking moment. It affirmed that in God's eyes, women were valued and had a right to their inheritance. As a result, Manasseh's total share west of the Jordan River consisted of 10 tracts of land. 2. This was in addition to the lands of Gilead and Bashan, which were east of the Jordan. This happened because the daughters of Manasseh received an inheritance among the sons. The remaining land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the descendants of Manasseh. The territory of the half-tribe of Manasseh that settled west of the Jordan was vast. It extended from the border of Asher down to Michmath, which is east of Shechem. From there, the boundary ran southward to include the people living near En-Tappuah. The land around Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, but the town of Tappuah itself, right on the border, belonged to the Ephraimites. The boundary then continued south to the Kana ravine. Interestingly, there were towns belonging to Ephraim scattered among the towns of Manasseh. The northern side of the ravine marked Manasseh's border, which stretched all the way to the great Mediterranean Sea. So, to the south was the land of Ephraim, and to the north was Manasseh. Manasseh's territory reached the Mediterranean, and it bordered Asher on the north and Issachar on the east. Within the territories of Issachar and Asher, Manasseh also held several key cities: Bethshan, Iblim, Dor, Ender, Tanach, and the mighty fortress of Megiddo, along with all their surrounding settlements. These were strategic locations, hubs of trade and military power. However, possessing the land on a map was one thing. Conquering it was another. The Manassites were not able to fully occupy these towns. The Canaanites who lived there were determined to remain in that region. They were strong, and their cities were well fortified. But the story didn't end there. As the Israelites grew stronger over time, they were able to subject the Canaanites to forced labor. Even if they didn't drive them out completely, their hold on the land was growing, step by step. Now, the people of Joseph, which included both the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, came to Joshua with a complaint. They were a powerful and numerous people. They said, "Why have you given us only one allotment and one portion for an inheritance? We are a great people, and the Lord has blessed us abundantly. We need more space." Joshua, a wise and practical leader, listened to them. He didn't dismiss their concern. Instead, he gave them a challenge and an opportunity. He answered, "If you are so numerous, And if the hill country of Ephraim is too small for you, then go up into the forest. Clear land for yourselves there, in the land of the Perizzites and the Rephites. He was telling them, your destiny is in your hands. You need more? Go and take it. But the people of Joseph hesitated. They replied, the hill country alone is not enough for us. And all the Canaanites who live down in the plain have iron chariots. They are in Beth-shan and its settlements, and in the valley of Jezreel. They are too powerful for us. The fear of the iron chariots, the advanced military technology of their day, was holding them back. They saw the obstacle more clearly than the promise. Joshua, however, saw their potential. He spoke to both tribes of Joseph, to Ephraim and Manasseh, with words of powerful encouragement. He said, you are numerous, and you are very powerful. You will not have only one allotment. 2. The forested hill country will also be yours. Clear it, and its farthest limits will be yours. Then, addressing their greatest fear, he declared, though the Canaanites have chariots fitted with iron, and though they are strong, you can drive them out. He reminded them of their own strength and God's power working through them. Faith conquers fear. Courage claims inheritance. Joshua's words were a charge to move forward in faith, to believe that what God had promised, they could possess. The daughters who dared, the warriors who fought, the tribe that believed. From Manasseh's courage came a legacy that still speaks to us today. Take your inheritance, for the Lord has already called it yours. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.